The strongest factor of success is self esteem. Believing you can do it, believing you will do it, and believing you deserve it. With this strong thought, a very good morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are in good health. I, Shreya Jadhav, welcome you all to my e learning channel. And today we are going to do English Grade 10, Chapter 4 from the Diary of Anna Frank, written by Anna Frank. So, before knowing about who Anna Frank is, let us go through some type of thoughts she has written it down. You can see over here the image behind the quote is of Anna Frank. Whoever is happy will make others happy too. Dead people receive more flowers than the living ones because regret is stronger than gratitude. Parents can only give good advice or put them on right paths, but the final forming of a person's character lies in their own hands. You can always give something, even if it's only kindness. How lovely to think that no one need wait a moment. We can start now, start slowly changing the world. Look at how a single candle can both defy and define the darkness. I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains. What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't even happened yet. And the last one, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. So, dear students, you all have seen that these are the thoughts written by Anna Frank. We will be understanding and knowing about who she is in detail and why specifically we are supposed to learn the diary which she has written. Yes, but before that, let us go through the introduction for answers. Introduction for answers. Now, dear students, whenever you write your answers for test purpose or examination purpose, always remember to start your answers with introduction. This creates a really good impact. Prose name from the diary of Anna Frank. Author's name Anna Frank. Genre diary. Summary. Here, Anna Frank shares her experiences through her diary because she has no real friends. So now, let us go through the reading and explanation of the chapter of the diary which is written by Anna Frank, and let us have some glimpses about who she is and why was she inspired to start this strange experience of writing down diary, because she thinks that it is a bit strange because she has never written any sort of diary. So let us begin. So you can see over here from the diary of Anna Frank, and in the quotes also we have seen this image of Anna Frank. So before you read, Anneliese Mary, known as Anna Frank, born on 12th June 1929, February March 1945, was a German born Jewish girl who wrote while in hiding with her family and four friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany, but were trapped when the Nazi occupation extended into the Netherlands. As precautions against the Jewish population increased, the family went into hiding in July 1942 in hidden rooms in her father Otto Frank's office building. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to a concentration camp system where Anna died of typhus in Bergen Belsen within days of her sister Margot Frank. Her father, Otto, the only survivor of the group, returned to Amsterdam after the war ended to find that her diary had been saved, convinced that it was a unique record. He took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. So, over here, the description of Anna Frank is given that she was born in German, but she was basically a Jewish. And because of that thing, during World War II, the whole family, along with four friends, have shifted and they were hidden in the office building of Otto Frank, who is Anna's father. They were hiding for 2 years, but somehow they were sent to concentration camp, and over there Anna died. And within few days, her sister also died, and only survivor who was left in the whole group was his father. When after this World War II got over, when his father returned back to Amsterdam, at that time he saw that there was a book written, and he thought that this is not just a mere records, but these records are really unique, and he took a pledge to publish it in English under the name of the Diary of a Young Girl. The diary was given to Anna Frank for her 13th birthday and chronicles the event of her life from June 12, 1942 until its final entry on 1st August 1944. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television, and theatrical productions, and even an opera based on the diary, described as the work of a mature and insightful mind. The diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation. Anna Frank has become one of the most renowned and discussed of Holocaust victims. Writing in a diary is really strange experience for someone like me. Not because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musing of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at my home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was, brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff backed notebook, grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have friends. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there is about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday thing. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. In any case, that's just how things are. And unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary to enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination. I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friend. I am going to call this friend Kitty. So here what we have read. Anna Frank believed that writing a diary was a strange experience for her. Why? Because she hadn't ever written these sort of writings before. And at the age of 13, she got her diary as a birthday present. And she started writing to get all kinds of things off her chest. Means whatever tension, pressure, anxiety, nervousness, afraidness, yes, any sort of good news if she wants to share, she would put down everything on diary. Why? Because she was not having any real friend. And moreover to that, most important thing, Anna believed that paper has more patience than people. Yes, we as people judge one another. Yes, and before the talk is complete, they put forward their own vision. We directly judge them that okay, if they have behaved in this mannerism, then it would be their fault. So, paper are having more patience than the people because paper never judge the person. So, on one of the days when she was feeling a little depressed and was sitting bored at home, wondering whether to go out or not, to stay at home, she began to write. She had no intention of showing her writing to anyone except a friend. And Anna confesses that what prompted her in the first place to write a diary was that she didn't have any friend. Anna spoke about the people she knew. She said that there were about 30 people she would call friends, but none was her one true friend. She wasn't close to anyone in whom she could confide or say everything. She wanted her diary to be her friend and she gave it a name called Kitty. So now let us move ahead. Since no one understands a word of my story to Kitty, if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December, and I followed in February, when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. I started right away at Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Cooperus, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said heartbreaking farewell. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for others, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. Now, you all have known that she wanted her diary to be her friend, and she gave it a name, Kitty. Anna wrote about her family members in the diary. She said that her father was adorable and he married when he was 36, and her mother was 25. Her sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926, and Anna was born on 12th June 1929. She lived in Frankfurt till she was 4. Then her family immigrated to Holland in the year 1933. First, the parents went, and the two girls were left with the grandmother. They used to live with her. Then they joined their parents. Anna went to a Montessori nursery school and stayed there until she was 6. When she was in 6th standard, her headmistress, at the farewell function, she and the headmistress were in tears. In the summer, in the year 1941, her grandmother fell ill and had to have an operation, and in 1942 she died. Anna loved her a lot. In her diary entry of 20th June 1942, she said that all the four of them were doing well, and for her birthday celebration, an extra candle was lit for the grandmother with the other candles. So, now let us begin with the diary writing. Saturday, 20 June 1942. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at two boys behind us, CN and Jacques, who have staked their entire holiday saving on their bet. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are most unpredictable creatures on earth. I am not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. We'll make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. Anyway, all we can do is sit and wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. There are 9 of them. 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Casing, the old fogey who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. A chatterbox? What can you write about that? I would worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone would rumble on leaves big space between the words. But the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote the 3 pages Mr. Kessing had assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. Now, over here, her diary entry dated on 20th June 1942, which was a Saturday. She wrote that her entire class was trembling because the teachers were going to declare the results. They would decide who would be promoted and who would be kept back. She felt that about a quarter of the class were dummies and would be kept back, but she was not sure as she felt that teachers are unpredictable persons. She felt that her girlfriends would pass. She was only worried about maths. Yes, most of us are also worried about the same thing, that it is likely that we would be passing in all the subjects, but that one subject which is always no hindering in our mind is mathematics. So the same situation Anna was also facing, that the teachers were supposed to give results. She thought that okay, she would be passing in all the subjects, but she was having some doubt with maths. She got along well with her teachers. There were 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Kessing was her maths teacher who belonged to the old school of thoughts. He had caught Anna talking, and after several warnings given to her, he punished her to write an essay. The topic was a chatterbox. She wrote the essay for homework and wrote a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. She also said that it was a student's trait, means it was their right, which she would like to keep under control. Now, what eventually she has written, let us know. But that I could never be able to cure myself of that habit since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there's not much you can do about inherited traits. Mr. Kessing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. This time it was supposed to be an incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Kessing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he would finally had enough. Anna Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled Quack Quack Quack, said Mistress Chatterbox. You can see the image over here, which is in front of you, how the teacher, Mr. Kessing, is scolding Anna because she has a habit of continuously talking. The class roared. I had to laugh too, though I would nearly exhausted my ingenuity on the topic of Chatterbox. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sane, who's good at poetry, offered me help to write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Kessing was trying to play joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I had made sure the joke was on him. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with three baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Kessing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Kessing's always making jokes these days. Yours, Anna, extracted from the diary of a young girl with slight adaptation. So, at the end, what is happening? Now, over here, Anna is trying to say that somehow, when that homework was assigned to her of writing down an essay on Chatterbox, she wrote that no, she would keep herself under control, but she would never be able to cure herself of it since she had inherited this trait of talking from her mother. Mr. Casing had a good laugh at her arguments but caught her again and gave her one more essay, an incorrigible chatterbox. And then, for the third time, she was caught, and at that time duration, she was given a topic of quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. Anna had a good laugh with class. Her friend Sane, who was good at writing poetries, helped her to write the essay in verse from beginning till the end. She tried to make sure that this time the joke would be on Mr. Kessing. She wrote a poem about a mother duck and a father swan with three baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father as they quacked too much. Mr. Kessing took the joke in right spirit. He read the poem to the class and gave his comments, and from then on, Anna was allowed to talk without any extra homework. So, over here, you can see this is all about the diary from Anna Frank. I hope you all have understood the chapter. Thank you very much and have a nice day. If you still have any doubt and queries, you can comment down in the comment section. Thank you very much and have a great day.